Before we get started with this best list of 2014, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs. One to MikeyLikesMovies for running an awesome channel and being a cool dude, and 22 Tiger Dude for editing this video and being an awesome guy and a great friend. Well, we are finally here. The best movies of 2014. The list is coming out a little longer than I expected to be, but there was one movie that wasn't released around my town in theaters and I just needed to see it. I saw it and now I'm able to make my list. This year was such a great year for movies. It was so hard to create a top 10 list, so I created a top 20 list. And I do have some honorable mentions. So let's get started with this list because it is rather long. These honorable mentions were pretty great films. They just weren't great enough to crack into this top 20 list. And the first honorable mention I do have here is 22 Jump Street. Foxcatcher was a very dark film with great performances from everybody. Selma was a very moving, inspiring film. American Sniper was an emotional powerhouse performance from Bradley Cooper. Begin Again, Wish I Was Here, the Lego Movie. The Theory of Everything is probably one of the best scores of this year. The Guest, Under the Skin, Edge of Tomorrow. The Rover was a very simple film, but still very amazing. Drop, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Locke, X-Men, and Neighbors are all great films. And then The Raid 2 is the last one in the honorable mentions list. Alright, let's get started with the top 20 of 2014. Big Hero 6. It is Disney's newest animated film. And when thinking about it, I really thought Baymax worked so well into this plot. I thought that if Baymax wasn't as cute and cuddly as he was, this film wouldn't have worked like how it did. Coming at number 19 is Hayao Miyazaki's last film, and that's The Wind Rises. This is such a different film from all of his previous works. All of his previous works have that fantasy type feel to it. And this is a real story about a pilot, and it's a very, very emotional film. Coming at number 18 is A Most Violent Year, the last film that I needed to see before making this list, and I had such high expectations for it, but I really did like the performance from Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain. They worked so well together. They were a powerhouse couple. I liked the score, the way they feel. It wasn't like that Godfather violent film. It was more of a business violent film and what people will do to get to the top. Coming at number 17 is a film that came out of nowhere and surprised a lot of people, and that is Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer, starring Chris Evans and a lot of other people, is a very, very dark film. Coming at number 16 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I feel like a lot of Marvel's latest films always seem to be the same, and we were going into it thinking, yeah, this is going to be great, I'm going to like this film, and you're coming out thinking that same thing, and that's why it sits at number 16. Also, I didn't really care much for the Winter Soldier. I didn't like that he decided to use knives and guns a lot. I like more of that hand-to-hand combat. You know, Captain America uses his shield, but he also uses his fists a lot. And I just didn't really like the Winter Soldier's background and him as a character. So that's why it sits at number 16. But other than that, I thought it was a lot better than the first Captain America film and some other previous Marvel films at that. Coming at number 15 was a film that, when I first saw it, best film of the year. Second time seeing it, not that great, but I still really like that, and it is Godzilla. Godzilla takes this monstrous, creepy monster and adds a little more plot to it and a little less Godzilla. And I understand where people got pissed off about this and didn't like the film, but I think it works so well. The less you see of Godzilla, the more you anticipate Godzilla. And I still watch these scenes with Godzilla and still anticipate those certain scenes. I did lose all of the interest in the plot the second time around, but every time I saw Godzilla, I was in the moment. It is so crazy, and the end scenes with Godzilla still works to this day. Coming at number 14 is Christopher Nolan's newest film, Interstellar. It's a film that has an amazing score, great performances from Matthew McConaughey, a guy that a few years down the road I would have been like, oh, you're gonna ruin this film. But now, he made this film work. It is great. A film that makes you think so much like, is this stuff actually possible? Can time really move that fast and time stay still? It's a film that makes you just think so much, and I think Christopher Nolan handled each scene perfectly, adding a lot of suspense to each scene that he could, and make it a very thought-provoking film. Coming at number 13 is Fury, a film that is very brutal, it's honest, it's gritty, and everybody gives great performances. Sitting in at number 12 is Top 5, Chris Rock's newest directed film. I think this is the film that I laughed at most this year. It has some gut-busting scenes, a few actual gut-busting scenes that just had me dying for a few minutes. And the writing too was really great. You can take a film that is so hilarious and add a lot of great writing and directing. That is a great deal. Coming in at number 11 is The Imitation Game. The Imitation Game is a film that I wasn't expecting too much of. I just don't really care for Benedict Cumberbatch as other people do. But after seeing this film, I can see why everybody really likes him. Now we are getting into the top 10. These are the top 10 best films of the year. My God, this list was hard to make. And so coming at number 10 is a film that sat at number 11, and I thought about it, rewatched it again, and that is Gone Girl. Gone Girl, the first time I saw it, I liked it, didn't like it as much as everybody did, but seeing it a second time a few weeks ago, this was a great psychological thriller, very dark film. I liked all of the performances here, especially from Ben Affleck. Coming in number 9 is one of the best directed films of this year, and that is Birdman. My God, Birdman has some of the best directing, making it feel like it's just one long continuous shot. But the way that they make it feel like it's a continuous shot was great. Michael Keaton, him battling the thoughts of Birdman in his head and trying to juggle this play with all of his co-workers and his daughter, the thoughts of Birdman, and it truly was a great film. Speaking of great directing, sitting at number 8 is Boyhood. Also another great directed film, and a film that many people like. Many people think that it's too over the top and pretentious, but it's a film that you gotta look at like it is a great directing achievement. Sitting at number 7 is Enemy, the director of Prisoner. Prisoner was number 2 of 2013, and now he has number 7 spot. Great job. This was a film that blew my mind. It's a short film, but a very great performance from Jake Gyllenhaal. And this is a film that you got to interpret your own things into it, because there's a lot of things in this film where people can be like, yeah, I understand that. Or it can go a completely different way. Enemy just got under my skin, not the movie, but it just creeped me out. The last scene in the movie is probably the creepiest, disturbing scene I've seen this whole entire year. Number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now going into every Marvel movie, you're expecting the same thing. It's going to be great. But Guardians of the Galaxy took it to another level. You walked out thinking, wow, this was an amazing film. It was able to manage humor, take a team of superheroes that no one knew about, and made them very lovable. You had great voice casts of Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper. You had Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and Chris Pratt. You had a wide range of actors that aren't really the same, and you're able to put them all into one film and care about them so much. It took Marvel to a whole nother level. Just didn't have that typical Captain America, Thor, Iron Man movie. It's their whole new thing, and it's one of the best Marvel films to date, and that's why it sits at number 6. So sitting at number 5 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm a big Apes fan. I love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I even like the Mark Wahlberg version and some of the other previous Apes films. I love the motion capture for Andy Serkis and everyone. It took Rise of the Planet of the Apes but made it even darker and grittier, and some of the best action scenes and some of the best performances. I mean, can you give an Oscar to an ape? I would like to give an Oscar to an ape. Say, here, take this Oscar for Best Actor because you did a great job. Coming in at number 4 is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is probably Jake Gyllenhaal's best performance ever. I can't wait to watch this film again and own it on Blu-ray. Nightcrawler had an amazing script to it. Had some great character development. You had Jake Gyllenhaal as a guy that's looking for a job but knows what he needs to do to get money, and then he does it, but it all gets to him, and he wants to become the best journalist, but doing things in the wrong way. Jake Gyllenhaal, you're amazing. Coming in at number 3, What If? What If stars Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan about two people that meet. Daniel Radcliffe really likes her, but he understands that she has a boyfriend, but he's willing to be there with her as a friend, but still trying to manage his feelings for her. And as their friendship grows, his feelings for her grow. This is the one film that I thought about the most this year. It's a film that was very emotional, had great comedic performances from Adam Driver and Daniel Radcliffe, and beautiful performances from Zoe Kazan and Daniel Radcliffe working together. I thought they had such a great chemistry together, and it's a film that not a lot of people saw, I guess, or just didn't really care about. They said it was mediocre at best and forgettable, but it is my list, and that's why it sits at number 3 for the year. Coming in at number 2, one of the badass films of the year and such a great comeback for Keanu Reeves, and that is John Wick. John Wick had one of the best fight scenes of this year with the nightclub scene. Just 10 minutes of John Wick, Keanu Reeves, shooting at people and being badass. And the best film of 2014 is a film that I wish got a wider release, and that is Whiplash, starring Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. This film, J.K. Simmons was that guy that you all hated. Like, I can't believe you act like this and treat people this way. Was so believable in his role of putting Miles Teller down. But towards the end, you completely understand why J.K. Simmons did what he did to Miles Teller. But then he switched all around. You're like, you dick. And he was a dick. But you can't deny that it is one of the best performances from the year. Whiplash is a very intense film, and I can't believe that Miles Teller learned to play the drums on his own for this film. But Whiplash is the best film of the year. I loved all the intense moments of J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller butting heads. Both of them gave best performances of their career. I can't wait to see what Miles Teller does in the future. But for right now, Whiplash is the best film of 2014. Thank you everybody for watching this long video about the best movies of this year. Like I said in the beginning of the film, there were so many great films this year with honorable mentions, and I just had to create a top 20 list. Once again, this is my list. These are the movies that I love the most, and you might be wondering, where is this film, or why is this film in there? Shouldn't this movie be higher? You gave it a better grade. But these are just movies in order that I love the most. So this is Justin Watches Movies with his best list of 2014. It was a great year, and I'm excited to see what 2015 has in store for us. So this is Just Watching Movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.